What's up, YouTube? Smells like Vin here, and this is like my fourth time trying this review. I am not having a good reviewing day, but just letting you guys know I'm in my basement right now, so if you hear like weird noises and lights flickering on and off and all weird stuff like that, that's why. And I'm just gonna cut to it because I'm having a hard time doing this review, and I am wearing my Trooper shirt today, and that means that I'm going to be talking about Peace of Mind today, released 1983, and of course I am continuing my classic Maiden series. Yeah, so let's get into it. In my last video, which was the Number of the Beast review, which surprisingly doesn't have a lot of views, that's weird considering it's the most popular album, but whatever, I said that I felt the album was lacking something. I think it's just an overrated album. And that's not because it's too mainstream or popular or it has too many hits or whatever, but it's because it's not the definitive Maiden album. A lot of people seem to think that. I don't see why. I think this album was much more, it set more of a template from, for what they'd be doing later. And I feel like since Number of the Beast was a transitional album, it kind of sticks out. And I just thought it was a little lacking. I swear, right now, there's an angry mob with pitchforks and torches coming at me, but sorry. If you want to hear more about my positions on it, I explain it more, obviously, in like a 10-minute review I did of it. So, yeah. Peace of Mind, released 1983. I'm gonna do it right this time, I swear. Now, there were a couple changes, from Number of the Beast to Peace of Mind. Some more transitions, if you will. In the early 80s, Maiden were in a constant kind of state of transition, and this album is no exception. They have a new drummer, and the new drummer's name is Nico McBrain, if I pronounced it right. And when I say new, I mean new back then, not now. Yeah, Nico. And Nico is a great drummer. Clive Burr's gone by this point. He couldn't handle the touring anymore, which is understandable. Maiden were one of those bands that just toured relentlessly, and I could see why you would get, or how he would get tired and kind of lackluster when it came to playing. So he's gone, he left. And Nico is a great drummer. He can do the gallop on the bass drum, which is great because you know that Steve Harris he uses that signature gallop on the bass. So Steve, and I think this makes the band, Steve and Nico create a great rhythm section for the rest of Maiden's career, and it's great. They're just so tight together. So like, let's say a song like Where Eagles Dare, while Steve is going to Nico can go, and he can gallop with just his single foot on the bass drum, and it creates just a great, rhythm section, and it gives these songs a lot more of a bottom, kind of edge to them, and it gives, I guess edge would be a good word, it gives these songs a real edge that the earlier records don't have. Again, not to undermine Clive's skill as a drummer, he's a great drummer. That's the first thing. Second thing is Bruce's vocals got way better on this album. He just hits notes that most singers wouldn't even dream of hitting. I mean, he's insane. The dude can hit notes, and he can just go places that only his range can go to. His range is just so broad. He can hit really low, raspy notes, but at the same time, he can hit really high notes. Just his voice just soars, and it's fantastic. So Bruce is in top form on this album, and he would only get better as the 80s progressed too. Another thing is just the musicianship in general just got better. The band got tighter, the band got more technical, the songs are more varied, and everything's just really good. So, production. The production on this record is great. It has more of a polished sound than the earlier records, did. But I think that fits the sound. It's not too clean, not too pretty. It's still, it's still raw. It still has an edge to it. But it fits the more cleaner, crisper sound that I feel like this era of the band kind of demands. and Martin Birch just had this band down by this point. He knew what they needed to kind of sound like and what they should sound like, even when, Paul Di'Anno was gone. So the production's great. The flow is also great. This is an album that is very varied. It has a lot of different songs. You get songs like Where Eagles Dare, Flight of Icarus, The Trooper, Sun and Steel, that are just kind of straightforward rockers, as kind of corny as that sounds. They go in, they do what they gotta do, and they get out. And it's, really, really great. But they're never too simple. Maiden isn't really a simple band, I find. But then you get songs like Revelations, To Tame a Land, and Still Life, which are songs that are more progressive, very dark. This is a pretty dark album. It's not as bright, maybe, as some of their later stuff would be. Like Power Slave and which I'm fucking psyched to get to Power Slave. And Somewhere in Time and Sound and Sun. This is kind of a darker album. It has a bit of a dark tone to it. And I feel like it mixes the progressive nature of it and the dark nature really well, and you get masterpieces like Revelations and To Tame a Land. And another thing that's great about this album are the guitar solos. At this point, Dave and Adrian are like just this machine. They are a great team. The dual solos are fantastic, and the dual riffs are harmonizing riffs, like from the Trooper. That's one of the most famous riffs in metal history, period. And it gives the riffs more depth, more sound. Like you listen to a riff like in the Trooper, and you get kind of two different pitches, especially when you hear it live, like on Live After Death and stuff like that. And it's just ear candy. It's fantastic. These riffs are just so epic and well written and big in their scope that they don't. Nothing can stop them on this album. Adrian Smith and Dave Moore really hit a new level of working together to, bring you these great harmonizing riffs and solos. So I think that's one of the strong points of this record, is that Adrian and Dave really stepped it up as far as their skill went, or goes, if it will. Steve Harris's bass has never been more crisp, clear, and audible. You hear him in every song. Fantastic. One of the best bassists of all time, in my opinion. He's just an amazing bassist. He's always right there with the band, keeping the rhythm going, but he's always maybe kind of doing something different, maybe alternating what they're doing, and it always gives this kind of, I don't want to say jazzy, but this kind of, yeah, okay, you guys can do that, I'm going to do what I want to do here, you know what I mean? I'm still going to stay in your time, I'm still going to stay in your rhythm, but I think I'm going to maybe change things up a bit. And it always feels great, because he's not just there to make the the riff sound fuller. He's there to do his own thing and what he wants to do. And it always, you always kind of hear him noodling around, doing these weird kind of things in the background, and you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. Even if it's not, like in the Trooper, he's not doing the same exact riff, he's doing a similar riff, but it's a little different, it's kind of alternating what they're doing, and I always thought that was great. He's just a talented motherfucker, dude. Steve Harris is great. And yeah, really, the flow of this album is also really, really great. Every song just flows. You get, like I said, the kind of punch in the teeth, punch in the teeth songs like Where Eagles Dare, The Trooper, Flight of Icarus, which the two singles off this record are The Trooper and Flight of Icarus. And then you get the slow, more dark, progressive kind of songs. The overall tempo of this album is pretty slow too. It's not as fast as, Number, The Beast, or even Power Slave. What else is really great about this album? Trying to think here. There's 9 songs on this record. Sorry about that. And that sucks, because the big elephant in the room, Quest for Fire. Quest for Fire is the song that many people consider the worst Maiden song ever. I don't agree at all. In fact, it's not that bad of a song. The instrumentation itself is very good. The musicianship is top-notch. Problem: the lyrics are stupid. And the vocals aren't that great. Bruce hits this really high note during the verse, and it's like, it's really bad, and I don't know why he thought that sounded good. Yeah, the lyrics themselves are really pretty stupid. They're talking about, like, quest for fire, you know, a bunch of cavemen searching for fire, but pretty underwhelming. Definitely not the best Maiden song. I wish it wasn't on the album, because it's 9 songs, and all the other albums from the 80s, well, for the, you know, from this point on, have 8 songs, so that sucks. But, you know, and another filler that people say is filler is Son of Steel. I disagree. I really like this song. I think it's a really, really good song. Catchy, great bass line, great drums, the rhythm section's top-notch in that song. Good solos, fantastical vocals. Vocals are just amazing. And yeah, I don't see what everyone's beef with that song is. The epic on this album is To Tame a Land, and it's another great song. It kind of reminds me of Revelations, and that it's pretty progressive, except it's not as, you know, it's way more, you know, it's longer. And yeah, honestly, this is just a classic Maiden album. You get so much variety, so much technicality, musicianship, great instrumentation, great rhythm section. Everything about this album is just Maiden in its top form. And I'm going to give it a 9.8. Only reason it doesn't get a full 10 is because of Quest for Fire. Yeah, it's a really pretty bad song. I really wish it wasn't on this album. But yeah, it's about as close as a perfect Maiden album as you can get, maybe. Power Slave is up next, and, you know, everyone knows how awesome of an album that is. But, yeah, I finally got this review down. It took me a while to do, but I finally did it. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Oh, by the way, ever since this year started, school, I've been getting into a lot of different music, really, really great music. So after this, I might take a break and start talking about other bands just for a little bit, and then I'll get back to Maiden. But I'd like to thank you for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, and Eddie says thanks for watching. See you guys next time.